Assalamualaikum everyone. Today I'm going to actually give you a checklist that you must carry with yourself once you're traveling. I mean, the whole idea of accommodation, flights, train tickets, visas, that's a given, that's obvious, that's gonna happen, but this is not the checklist that I'm talking about. I'm talking about being one step ahead and actually developing your perspective. So I have summed up my checklist into 5 C's. And I've realized that this is something that developed over time. It was something that was already happening until I sat down and had a conversation with myself that when you travel, what are you looking for? And once you come back, what do you come back with? Of course, lots of laundry, which takes time. But once you're unpacking your laundry, your mind is wandering, and then you're also thinking of all the stories and all the good stuff that you did. But in my case, I really want all of that to be more than just a bunch of pictures or more than just a bunch of good food tastings. So I came up with a checklist, a lens, a yardstick, a perspective that I carry with myself every time I travel, that not just adds a lot of pleasure to my life, but actually adds a lot of perspective as well. And today I'm going to share that with you. So the first C that I carry with myself and I always look for is actually conversation. Now this applies to the conversation of the city. What is it that the people of that particular city are talking about? What is the conversation? Is there some criminal on the loose? Is some climate change issue going on? Are they talking about human rights? Are they talking about something festive that's happening in that area? And I want to be a part of it, even if it's political, even if it's something that's particularly only for that place. I still want to be a part of it and to know more. So I always look for the conversation of that place, and of course the best way to do that is to be in a conversation with someone local and talk to them about it. So the conversation is very important to me. Number 2 is the connection, which is of course a direct lead on from the conversation, that you build connections with the place that you're going to. You do strike friendships, you do tend to connect with people, you talk to them about something that matters to you, what you are passionate about, and then you also ask the right questions. So if I go to a place and if I don't end up making at least one friend or 2 friends, I think I will not feel satisfied. I'll feel I've come back and I've not really come back with much. So I do like to build those friendships and we keep in touch, and I really want to leave them with a gift of my friendship as well. Now, something that also segues into from both of these points is the third C, which is culture. Now, when you go to a new place, a new city, of course the museums tell you something. If you have a guide, they're telling you something. If you read up on TripAdvisor, they're telling you something. But it really takes a huge effort, and it takes like a bit of a moment of silence to open your third eye and really understand the culture of a place. And you have to do that with a lot of observation. You have to sit back, you really have to immerse yourself, you have to go silent, and you just need to observe people of that particular place to understand their culture. To understand their culture, are they workaholics? Are they very calm, composed people who are into self-care and health? Or what are their attitudes towards people with disabilities, to the elderly, to babies? Do they follow law and order? What are their attitudes towards maybe a festive season? So, you know, this is the culture of a place, and where is it coming from? Is it coming from a particular past? Is it a country that has seen a lot of famine, a lot of war? What is going on? Oh my goodness, this will blow your mind if you just take a few moments, go to a place that's extremely crowded and just sit there and observe. Even if you're in a restaurant, just sit there and observe. If you're by yourself, if you're with someone, do this exercise with them. It blows your mind, because the things that you notice and you learn, you don't find them anywhere. They are so personal to you. They're just falling into your lap because you're the one who's asking for this information to be exposed to you. And I have been blown away with so much the world still has to offer, these places have to offer, that no one really talks about. So always observe the culture. For example, in Laos, you sit back and you observe that people are just genuinely helping each other. If you go to the night market, you will see that one shop owner is just helping the other shop owner. Or if you notice, if something falls down, the other person is trying to help the other person. They have a lookout for other people. I hope nobody is in some kind of a problem. And you notice these tiny gestures, these body language observations, and is just remarkable. So the third one is definitely culture. Immerse yourself and understand, and then maybe write about it or talk about it with anyone who cares to listen. Now the fourth one is currency, which is actually a very fancy word for partnership. I really wanted to continue with the C's, and I realized that currency is not just money. Currency could be a lot more than that. It could be an exchange of respect, it could be an exchange of thought, an exchange of an idea, an exchange of something that is of value. And in my case, I always try to strike an exchange of currency, a partnership. For example, when we went to Azerbaijan, we struck a partnership with Donata. I met Mira in Dubai, and she was so lovely to talk to, and she reached out and said, Tanzila, where are you going next after our trip to Egypt, me and the other two girls? And I told her that I'm going to Azerbaijan, and she said, okay, fine, let us support you in whatever way we can. So they provided us with accommodation, which was a huge support. One, because we had this sense of security with them, and two, because it was a huge cut down on our cost as well. And three, because of course they picked an accommodation for us which was already wheelchair accessible, so we didn't have to do a lot of homework and going back and forth with any hotel or hostel or any apartment provider. So that was a partnership we clicked with them. But at the same time, we promised them that the documentary that we're producing, it will actually be with them. So we are working on that, and that's a remarkable partnership, because now we're producing something that will reach out to their partners, will sensitize all these actors in the travel industry on how to become more accessible, coming from a lived experience, and then also can be circulated to many service providers in Azerbaijan to become more inclusive, because no matter what we do, a lot of work needs to be done. So wherever you go, whatever you do, try to see what value exchange, what currency exchange, what partnership can happen. And I always end up with meeting remarkable people, creating a lot of value. I sleep in peace, because I know I've not just had fun, I've actually used the opportunity. If I'm spending money on a trip, I know that I have invested in something that's going to help not just me but the coming generations. That's the standard one has to set, and that's the standard that I set even if I'm having fun. And the fifth one is very important to me, and it should be important to you as well, which is cute. Well, I know I was following the C's, but this is very important, and I'll tell you how. So when I'm traveling, I always wonder that, okay, I'm in a different place, no one knows me. I could be anyone, you know, I could be Mata Hari, or I could be some mysterious, you know, diplomat or anything like that. I could be anybody, though I'm just the girl on the wheelchair. But still, in my own head, I am what I am, so I could be anything. So I always tell myself to dress up in a certain way that probably you won't dress up in your everyday life, and use this opportunity. Dress up differently, wear accessories, wear the eyeshadows that you probably won't be using in your daily life because they're too loud or you feel a bit shy. But here you can. So become a character, become someone else. I mean, don't lie. You don't have to go around lying to people that you're some millionaire or something. Don't do that. But it's okay to feel something, it's okay to dress up, it's okay to really carry yourself in a certain way. So every time I'm traveling, I do put in a lot of effort in designing the look of the day, and I like to match it with the plan of that day, and I even try to match it with whatever I'm going to eat that day. It's a lot of fun, it's a lot of design work, you're creating this narrative around you, and then by the end of the day, what you feel you become. So if you are creating something more positive, something more lively, something more creative, you will have a life that is going to be like that. So even if you come back into your own space, but could be mundane and very boring, and you have a job that you don't like or anything like that, you've still had an experience. I mean, your brain knows that you've had a remarkable Hollywood-like experience, so you come back. So I think the cute part is also very important to me. So this is my checklist, and I hope I've explained it better. And this keeps on evolving, so I might have a new checklist soon, and it's a good thing because it's nice to keep on evolving and adding new stuff. Please do let me know what is your checklist. If you don't have one, please make one. If you do have one, please share with me. It's always nice to exchange notes and share value. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I would love to share more stories with all of you.